So I have the Tomei system, TMS4 topographer in both of my offices, and I was able to use the system when I first started with the Keratometry, where we had the TMS1 system, then got the TMS2, and now it's the TMS4. And the device gives us, as most users might know, is a landscape, I like to say, of the cornea. So it gives us not only the basic keratometric readings to understand the shape, but gives us that differential of anomalous corneas, of just small irregularities to address the visual function of the patient. It uses a different type of cone system rather than just a placido disc, which gives that a very unique data assessment or capture system, which gives, to me, a lot more data than some other types of systems that are available in the market. What's nice about the Tomei system is they have two cones that you can utilize. The smaller 25 ring cone gives you a tremendous amount of data, but it centralizes more into the central portion of the cornea within about 10 millimeters. They have a 31 millimeter cone, which has a little cutout to be able to get closer to the globe of the eye, and you just have to simply manipulate them a little bit in there. But that's the cone that gives you a dramatic amount more information and allows you to do the contact lens designs, also manage your refractive surgery patients. Topography should be used on every kind of cataract patient or any type of surgery that might be involved in cone management. But generally, just in simple assessment of patients is very, very important too. Many years ago, I had the privilege of starting to work with the software and Tomei researchers to develop the software for the contact lens design. And what was very unique about it was that they were trying to get ahead of the game to utilize topography, not just look at landscape, but to allow for the utilization to develop a material and design of contact lens. What was very unique about the software was that not only could we program in standard nomograms from several companies and manufacturers, I could put my own system in there. So if I had the Daniels method, we'll say, I could put my favored type of design in there and utilize the different functions of lens diameter, optic zone. I look at the fluorescein pattern. I can manipulate it to exactly what I would want. We did a very unique study which was published many years ago on a poster for the American Academy of Optometry. And what we did was a unique way of doing the research on. We actually had a very good contact lens manufacturer, Conforma, down in Virginia, work with us. And what we simply did was give them K readings, as some practitioners would do, and do an empirical fit by the manufacturer themselves. We had the on-site researchers, the PIs, do on-eye fits. We had them also do topography-only fits, and we videotaped them and compared them. We had other experts around the country look at these videotapes to compare the actual fits to determine how good the topographer really was in designing a contact lens. We kind of found out that doctors are replaceable, which was kind of unique in the sense that having a very good image of the cornea and having the fluorescein overlay and the ability to manipulate the parameters of every section of that contact lens on the eye without ever putting a lens on the eye gave us just a wonderful assessment of what that lens would look like when we finally ordered it for the eye. And when we did order it and we captured image of it, they were as good or better than my own diagnostic fit, putting a lens directly on the eye and trying to assess where I want to make changes. So in a very, very efficient system, so that an inexperienced gas perm fitter could literally just get a great picture of the cornea, sit there and play with 60, 80 lenses if they wanted to on the eye without ever putting a lens on. And just sit there and manipulate. I like this fluorescein pattern, I like this, I can change the optic zone, I can change the lens diameter, I can change the peripheral curve, and just send that information right to the lab. It's ordered and almost guaranteed fit on the first shot. On the TMS4, they have not only the contact lens program, from my stand being a contact lens fan, it's very important, but also I'm looking at very unusual corneas sometimes. And a lot of people kind of think generically that topography is only used for that really weird cornea for the guys like me with keratocones and so forth, and it's absolutely not true. I remember I had a time, one patient came in and she was an ophthalmologist's sister. And the unusual thing, she was perfect 20/15 vision. And yet her complaint was, I could not see. And so we just simply did the assessment, and her visual acuity was, instead of TZVECL in the acuity chart, it was a very hesitant, I think it's a T, I think it's a Z, I'm not sure. So it told me right away something's irregular in her visual function. We simply just took her over to the topographer, did a topography on the TMS4, and we found that she had a slight irregular corneal decentration, which gave her aberrations. And in 2 seconds, we figured out what was going on with her simply by using a simple image of the TMS-4 system. And we were able to address it by not fitting a soft lens, but fitting a gas perm to her, even though the gas perm literally was plano. It made all the difference in the world to get her visual function just right. So whenever there's a patient coming in, and if they can't hit that acuity right in the dot, we've always been taught there's a reason they can't read perfect 20/20. And if they can't read that perfect 20/20, get an image. It's either a tear film problem that you'll see on the topographer, or it's simply something irregular to the cornea. And I can tell you from experience, just doing so many of these, there's a lot more irregular corneas out there than there are normal corneas. Topography has been a total replacement for keratometry, and I still, as much as people don't do keratometry, I think keratometry is important for tear assessment. But what's very nice about the TMS-4 system is that they have the TAS system, which is tear stability. And so with the automated system, you could actually take your picture and it immediately gives you also the ability to evaluate the tear film. I always teach my students and my staff when my technicians doing it, look at the tear film first, because that's what you see in your monitor. And then you can tell what's going on, get the image, because you're really in any topography system, you're taking a picture of the tear film on the cornea. You're not taking a picture of just the cornea. And if the tear film's irregular, now you have an assessment. Many other the systems out there do not evaluate tear film. This is where the TMS-4 has also a very unique character to use the tear stability system to evaluate that and help you in the dry eye treatment. As well as they have tremendous number of different statistics that just are not confusing as other systems are. These statistics are very, very straightforward. And TMS-4 has already thought ahead, because as you work through it, if you have no idea what that particular indice is, you tap on it and it gives you a definition right on the screen. So it reminds you also what are you looking at. It gives you the ability to do a Fourier analysis for differentials. I can do multiple maps, so I can look at it over time and show a patient that way. So there are so many tremendous utilizations of it to help you manage your patient. It's just a terrific system.